Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you will be able to see the stream, otherwise, something went wrong. So, today we have the very first Fristi Roggan 2 match to be cast. And joining me today is Jolatis.
Hello, how are you, Wouter?
I am freshly washed and I'm ready to watch. And we already have Antocalyptica calling us on Let the Games Begin. So let's not keep him waiting too long, but let's first just give an overview of the games that you have drafted for Antocalyptica. So let's have a look at that. Uh, as the guest captain, Antocalyptica hosted, and Joe Nasty was his opponent today. And it looks a very interesting draft. I don't know what your opinion, your lot is, but I'm looking
I
forward to it.
see a lot of water maps.
True.
See
Uh,
Migration, Crater Lake, also Italians being picked, Saracens being picked. So I
Very
think
good.
we're gonna see those if it comes to the water maps.
Indeed, very
Capricious
good
is
water
a
options.
very interesting map. Uh,
Indeed,
like
indeed. And I mean, I'm looking at the Capricious and the Frigid Lake. Those are kind of like the more classical maps.
yes,
Uh, and I'm noticing something when I look at the civs drafted by Joe Nasty, like Ethiopians, Tatars. Those are the favorite civs of another player I know of.
who is that?
I don't know, but he's rather good. I don't remember his name. I think it
Uh,
starts with a J though.
I don't know. Joe Nasty is pretty good player, so I
That
know he
is
knows
indeed true.
how to pick the good sips.
That is indeed very true. But so indeed, for Antocalyptica, we have Persians, Mongols, which were denied by Jonasti, Portuguese, Lithuanians, Italians, Berbers, and Saracens. And then on Jonasti's side, we have Poles, Byzantines, which was denied, Ethiopians, Britons, Tatars, Vikings, and Dravidians, one of the
Yeah, I
new
like the
civs.
Dravidians pick actually. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure about the Britons and the Ethiopians and the Tatars.
It seems a
Mm,
very archer focused, especially also
yeah,
with the Vikings, which tend
yeah,
to play like an archer civ. So I'm not expecting a lot of cav options because you basically only have the poles, with the
y-
Dravidians having the worst stable, I think. Well, aside from the Meso civs, which don't have any.
yeah. And the Vikings are not that far behind
That is
on
indeed
the
very
worst
true.
stable.
Um, but so let's have a quick guess. So the first game is a fixed map, Arabia.
Yes, I'm
Imagine you are Joe
hoping.
Nasty. What are you going for?
Mm, Not sure. Tatars, Ethiopians, Britons, all good. Even Vikings is pretty good on just the regular Arabia. Not so fan of Poles on Arabia, but you know that.
Uh,
Uh,
that is very well
I would stay
documented.
away from Dravidians, to be honest. But for the other sips, they're all pretty good on Arabian. So
Indeed, indeed. And with Capricious being a second type of Arabia, I think it's good that he has quite some options. And then looking
exactly.
at Antocalyptica, I would say Lithuanians, maybe Berbers.
If I were Anto Calyptica, I would pick Lithuanians for Capricious. And um,
That's a
I'm
good
not sure.
option
He can
indeed.
play maybe versions. But it's probably gonna be Lithuanians though. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep.
Not sure if it's the
And
same pick on Korea.
wow, I've just loaded up Capture Age, and I think we're in for quite a surprise. So also, I'm hoping that this stream will continue because when I started Steam, I was too late in pulling the internet, and the update has slightly downloaded. So I'm hoping that I managed to stop the update from being installed. Uh,
Yeah.
but I will load
Between
up the map.
Calyptica saying dot dot dot.
Yeah, yes, yes, I'm very well aware. Uh, okay, so I have Capture Age loaded, uh, and
Tense moment.
tense moment indeed. And look, it's, as expected, Arabia. However,
Nice.
it's Poles against Berbers.
Ooh, I like the Berbers pick. Yeah, Poles can work. Uh, for those who don't know, Joe Nasty's playing at like 160% handicap. So
Hmm.
I think every folwark you build with the extra farm is gonna be insane.
Oh, I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but we see here some remnants of a building, and let me see if I manage to. Yes,
I think that's a folwark.
uh, I'm fully unlocking the possibilities of Capture Age Pro, and I think we did indeed. That was indeed a full wark that only got a couple of hammer hits in, not even two, I think. But
Even the folwark would be a good start if you have like a handicap because you have a lot more wood to start with,
true,
and it supports houses. So
that is indeed true. But luckily, Joe Nasty avoids the early mill mistake, uh, and we
there's
have
always.
some friendly competitiveness, but also Ulugh, which is Antocalyptica. Thank you for changing names. Wishing Joe Nasty good luck and wishing him to have some fun. And Joe Nasty replying in kind. We can
How do
also
you
see
think?
a slight update on Capture Age. We now have the range indicator of the town center visible.
That's nice.
So we will be able to see whenever somebody gets within range of the deadly arrows.
Mhm. How do you think Antocalyptica is gonna open this one?
I've been wondering myself, but considering I'm seeing two forward villagers, he's going to open very aggressively here.
Mm,
He
wonder
already
what he's
did
gonna.
loom indeed. Antocalyptica pointing out that he is missing the 50 gold that he starts with. I am not a fan of this filled in area. Um, and indeed, he's just going forward, and with Berber villagers being 10% faster, oh, this is going to be quite
Just
annoying. Uh, oh,
just for the
look,
lame, or yeah,
he,
it's
he
gonna be a
is he's
lame.
going for the wall in. I'm not entirely sure.
Just fight him, Joe Nasty, with your
Just
better
fight him.
villagers. Just
I
kill
mean,
him.
we have
Versus Paul
40 HP versus 40 HP
versus
unloomed
Paul's
villager. So
with
the
Paul's
only
heal.
difference is some armor, and as Ilatus is indeed pointing out, the poles regenerate HP. He will win. Some attempted town center fire on the scout.
I
Uh,
think this is more to just to get in Joe Nasty's head.
this is indeed, I think, more of a psychological trick than Ulugh or Antocalyptica. How should we refer to you? Uh, actually trying to get some damage in.
Seize the
However,
portal.
he's still forward with two villagers. He prefers the
Are we,
term Ulugh. All right, then we
are we
will stick
gonna
with that.
see? Let's see. Eric, so what is he doing? I'm not sure.
I'm not entirely sure either, but this, well, the berry lame is
Oh
happening.
yeah. Well, this is pretty lame. I mean, Joe Nasty already won our hearts with just continue to play.
That
He's
is indeed very true. We are big supporters of Joe Nasty here, and I think it is not Joe Nasty who is the nasty here, but Ulugh
uh,
is really giving him a run for his money. And the berries are completely walled in. I think this palisade has been started and constructed.
to be
Uh,
honest, the
by the way, I'm noticing that there's a lack of game audio being transmitted, so I will quickly pause and see if I can fix this issue.
right. Joe Nasty, meanwhile, is already clicked up the feudal because the 160% handicap is just really big. So
That is
even
indeed
though
true.
the berries got lame, I'm not sure if it's worth it, to be honest.
Indeed,
I
and
think the biggest part is just the psychological aspect of it all.
I think so as well. And meanwhile, we see this town center by Ulugh just... Oh, now he managed to notice that it was completely idle. But if we have a look at the idle TC time, Ulugh Beg is not that far ahead. He's even behind in idle TC time.
Indeed.
So I'm wondering, did he really accomplish anything with his forward, or did he just do more damage to himself than to Joe Nasty?
Indeed. I'm not sure. Imagine just 3 scouts in like 1 minute from now. What are you gonna do as Ulugh Beg in that case?
I mean, he doesn't even have a barracks yet, and he doesn't have the wood for it. So
He's so far away from feudal.
he's so far away from food. 3 scouts and this is over. So if
Even like 1 archer, it
yes,
could deny like a wood line.
yes,
Just go on stone and tower
my
him. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
indeed, and I don't like this. I mean, Joe Nasty is floating a lot of resources, and I'm not seeing any military being produced. I'm not seeing any stables or archery ranges.
I think he just wants to go to castle.
That's a
It's also
possibility. Oh God, really?
the gold being walled in is pretty bad.
That is
But
indeed
you're
pretty
told
bad.
go on stone. Go on stone.
That is also true. I don't know how I feel about this
That's an
tower.
outpost? I think that's an outpost.
This is a tower.
Oh, no, I was off by the stone cost because he has like one
Yes,
95
yes,
stone.
indeed. But yes, with the bonus starting stone, that is indeed what a tower comes down to, which is a valid option now. I mean, with this extra stone, it's very easy to go for a tower rush. Okay, now we're getting a blacksmith and a stable. Indeed, I'm guessing we'll more quickly see Castle Age. I think Jonasi is more focused on having beefy knights instead of some scouts.
Indeed. I like it, but I think he can do both, to be honest.
I
Even
think
with
he
the
has
poles, the
enough
pole
resources.
markets can be pretty big with the.
Absolutely. And if we have a look at Ulugh Beg's economy, I mean, this is Dark Age, 8 farms. I mean, he's still not up to Feudal Age at 28 villagers. I'm not sure how this is going to continue playing out.
He's gonna click up to feudal.
He is indeed clicking up to Feudal. The market, so... Oh, Jonasti can just immediately buy Castle.
Yes. Just sell
some wood.
Yeah.
And he's there.
Come on, do it, Joe Nasty. We believe in
Yes,
you.
he sold
Pick
food
up
for
the-
70 gold. And indeed, he's going Castle.
Nice.
Well, he's going Castle after the villager finishes.
Antocalyptica saying he forgot a second boar.
So, I mean...
that's not a... I wouldn't call that a fast castle if you forget your second boar. But that happens to the best, I guess.
Does happen indeed to the best. And also only with... I think the very obvious knight play that will come from Joe Nasty is going to give you some major issues, I believe. Wow, and Ulugh is really going for the lane. The stone pile completely walled in, even making sure that there will be no hunt whatsoever available for him.
Yeah, but I'm if like 2 knights come out, those spell sites are just dead.
Gone.
I mean,
they're just immediately gone. I agree. And we have a couple of scouts. He's already doing armor for the cavalry. Okay, now the scouts are going forward. And let's have a look at the situation. We do have a barracks, so a spearman is a very quick defense against these scouts that will pop out. Market and blacksmith in the back. Ulugh also missing 2 of his sheep.
This will be a very important timing. If
Indeed.
Ulugh gets on Castle Age without taking too much damage, I really like his position.
Okay, so now there's 4 scouts that already have armor, and they will soon have forging. So now it's a matter of seeing how good is the scout micro of Joe Nasty.
Just get gold. No.
I mean, let's have a look at this. Ooh, he has not scouted the entire base. That is quite some important information that he's missing. Like this,
Yeah.
These 11 villagers are such a juicy target.
But yeah,
And
I think
just walling behind.
I would have tried to go for the goal, but if you don't know where it is, it might just be better to like hit the wall with the 2-3 scouts that are hitting and try to scout for the rest.
But now the spearman is coming out.
Oh. But it got bloodline and blobs 1-1, so that's a good trade, I think.
True. Oh, and now the scout is gone, and that had... sorry, the spearman is gone, and the spearman didn't really do much damage. Oh, and now... Oh, this is juicy.
Nice. Look at Jonassi's stone.
Joe Nasty is... He can castle drop already, and remember, the poles
imagine
gold
a
as well.
castle on the hill with the gold, with
Here.
the stables.
Here.
I mean,
the castle here is just immediately GG. As we're talking about this, he loses his scouts. Oof. However, he did manage to pick up 2 villager kills, but now he has to contend with camel riders that the Berbers get for cheap. Meanwhile, we were talking about a castle. I'm not a fan of this one.
I'm also not a fan of that one. That might be a good later game castle, but as a first castle,
if this goes to Imp, this is a really good castle. This completely blocks off this, protects your extra secondary stone pile here, but you need it forward.
Indeed.
Oh, and we get the camel riders being countered by the spearmen. And remember, with the 160% handicap, these spiky boys do 160% of their bonus damage.
Yeah,
so
the spearmen don't have like that big of amount of bonus damage. Imagine being like pikemen.
They are pikemen now.
Indeed, as I said it, they turn into pike.
And as you can see, 28 bonus damage against camels. Now I'm unsure if this is already scaled up or not.
I don't think it's scaled up.
I don't think so either. So
regular.
So for convenience, let's say 150%. So half of that again. So that's a whopping 42 bonus damage against camel riders.
Almost like halberdier.
Almost like halberdier. So roughly 2 to 3 hits, and it's over for the camel riders. And we get a warning from Ulugh that we should pay attention to these knights, and they are indeed. That's a doubt town center, I would say.
That's also a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. That's
every
look at that idle time.
You can pick off. Every villager you can pick off as the non-handicapped player is just really big.
Oof. I mean, even without villager kills, the fact that he's restricting the access to this lumber camp to a single tile will hurt his wood economy so bad, and it's his only wood line. However, oh, there's a great migration to the south.
Can we go to the knights once again? I think they're going for the town center. Oh,
they're
nice
going for the town center, but they were quick walled out.
Nice. it's an interesting situation, to be
It's a
honest.
very interesting situation indeed. And if we look at the number of villagers, 36, 36, with both on 2 town centers. I mean, Ulugh is keeping even pace, but I think with 160% handicap, even pace is not enough.
Indeed.
Now the knights are retreating, I like it. And meanwhile, he's massing more knights. Chainmail armor coming in to improve the pikemen. So I'm guessing that there will be a, based on the barracks, there will be some pikemen being added in amongst the army to counter the camel riders. But honestly, with only 4 camel riders,
Can
I
we
think
watch to the
Jonasti can
bottom of the
dive this.
screen? I think Ulugh is hiding a town center there.
He
Like
is
in the
indeed
middle. Bottom.
hiding a town center here.
Yeah. That might be really big.
That might
Can we
be
see what Jonasi's scouted by this point?
not that area.
Oh, yeah.
So very deep in the unexplored area. Meanwhile, he will find villagers here, and if he just clicks this palisade with 9 knights, this palisade is gone.
Yeah,
Indeed, and he's coming in. And there go the villagers.
I think the town center will go up.
Eventually, after he
go up.
sends more
It will
villagers to
go
it,
up.
yes.
It will go up. It will. No, it won't. Damn it.
After he sends more
really
villagers,
hard.
yes. But
Yeah.
oh, I would just keep attacking it. I mean, this is 80% finished. You're already denying him so many resources.
Indeed.
Withdrawing there. I mean,
But
we
just
are
this is also
seeing
fine. Just idle his economy.
True.
Keep on producing knights.
Get back into that wood line.
Those
And
6 camels aren't gonna do a thing.
No. And I mean, he is floating a lot of resources. He's not making villagers, but I would have to say at the moment it's looking really good for Jonasti.
Indeed. With his house, and I think I love Ulugh Beg's position more and more each minute. He's on 40 Cs almost. He hasn't taken that much damage, to be honest. If
He
this
hasn't.
continues, he has got more workers. If this continues for like another 5 minutes, which is big, but he is on the right track for a nice game.
He is on the right track for it, but I think if Jonasti just pays a bit more attention to his eco, gets those villagers' numbers up, and gets some more stables, some more knights just flooding the field, because look at it, 6 military versus 26.
Indeed.
He is here with pikes. He's here with knights.
I think he's going for imp.
He
got the resources.
He has the resources, he has the castle. He can go for imp. And that would be a huge power spike, just going for a quick cavalier. Oh, and this is nasty. These 4 camel riders are getting so much value.
Indeed.
They've already killed 2 villagers. Soon to be a 3rd. Indeed. However, at the same time...
Does the regen also scale up with the handicap? Because I have a feeling those villagers aren't dying.
Let's pay attention to... I don't think so. I don't think it does. It's just the Poles being very sturdy villagers. And so many knights, they just took down the town center. He's retreating.
The castle is huge, though.
Castle is indeed a huge... That's a saving grace there. However...
Just go imp, make a couple traps and just...
Yeah, and indeed he is going imp. However, at the same time, there's only 2 lumberjacks remaining. Get these... Okay, he's getting these villagers working. And then this final camel rider will also be dealt with.
That's a big camel rider.
That was a big camel rider indeed. That was That was doing a lot of damage on Jonasty's eco, but with that 160%, you don't need that much eco. I mean, look
Indeed.
at the resources he's floating with only 40 villagers. And he's
Imagine,
yeah.
imagine those 3 stables just keep producing knights.
And also keep in mind, 160% means 160% quicker production of military units. So you just keep spamming.
2 knights. Even maybe get the unique pole stack
Yes,
for
even cheaper.
really cheap. Just wash him away with knights.
Yes. I think we're
Yeah, sure.
seeing.
Take the town center again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
what's he
go for
gonna
a town
do?
center. There's no
Yeah,
villagers in there. Free town center. Just take it. Take it. Yes. Okay, he is indeed. Okay. You know what? Screw it. You can just lose the one knight, the one that's on the edge of the range of the castle. This is worth it.
I wouldn't even mind.
No, this is worth it.
Imagine how Ulugh must feel at this moment. Just donating town centers.
Donating town centers, and how does he feel in 2-1 when he sees this message? It's like
He's not gonna give up.
he's not going to give up, but I don't think he was having the best moment.
No.
Uh,
Just the hidden bases not being scouted.
This I like. This I like very
Yes.
much. This is really controlling the entrance to the base. He has some knights back here. I'm even a fan of that. You know, if he does manage to sneak in some raid, he can answer with a couple of knights there. I think however, we're also seeing that Ulugh is really just hiding away in the corners, making town centers everywhere, trying to keep his villager numbers up.
He also got murder holes.
He did indeed get murder holes. And I have to say, Joe Nasty doing a really good job of keeping his Night Moss, now Siege Engineer, so I think he's already been producing traps for a while.
Yeah, indeed, he's got 2 traps already and 2 more joining.
I would advise him to also research Cavalier. I'm fairly certain it doesn't cost more than a couple hundred food and gold. He's got the resources to spare. And
just the attack upgrade.
Attack upgrade and Cavalier coming in, reading the situation beautifully. And I think Joe Nasty is an avid watcher of T90. Don't trickle trap.
Indeed.
Oh wow. I really do not like this overlay. I really hate it, but well, this is a castle, and you know, in a couple seconds, bye-bye castle.
Indeed, this might be the checkmate he's been looking for.
Yeah, castle goes down. That's gone. Knights go in under heavy attack, and they're
This is like,
yeah,
get out of my game.
yeah.
That's what Jonas is saying at the moment.
Yeah, that's like this. Yes, absolutely. This town center is just going bye-bye. Like with chain barding, Cavalier, under town center, you don't care. You just murdered the town center. There goes that barracks. This town center is still surviving. Yes, Ulugh is saying he's just having fun. Yeah, indeed. Oh,
that town center sees some things.
But now things will change because Wheelbarrow is coming in.
Now the villagers finally get their really speed bump.
Indeed. Oh, there is a somewhat nasty attack with some pikes in the base of Joe Nasty, but
I mean, that's just fine. I would even trade those Cavaliers any day of the week right now.
Like, why would you care?
Maybe the unique unit of the Poles can help. That's
some Obuchs would indeed be nice, but you don't need to. And Ulugh calls the GG. And wow, was that ever? That was an exciting game.
Indeed. I mean,
Uh,
they both had some nice moments in the game because when Ulugh didn't take damage at the start, after like the
mhm,
laming thing, I mean, he got a pretty decent castle timing. Not
indeed,
getting damage, but then yeah, the 160% just kicked in, and
indeed, indeed. Uh, but yeah, I think we've seen here now. You can't leave him alone. You can't. Well, that's the problem. You can't leave Jonasti alone, but you have to make sure that your aggressive forward works.
indeed.
And I think it's really difficult.
And yeah, you have to like keep the guy off the resources, I think.
Yes,
That's like the key. Uh, Keep him off resources and try to use everything in your advantage. Uh,
absolutely. And
for
it's,
being like a
yeah,
more experienced player, uh,
yeah,
that's like the key to try to win
yeah,
versus the handicap.
indeed, indeed. And I think I mentioned it before. We saw that Ulugh was managing to keep pace with Jonasti in the beginning, but with 160% handicap, like I said, keeping pace is not enough.
Indeed. But
Okay, so off to
what what
game number two.
what map do you expect Ulugh
So
to pick right
it's
now?
Crater Lakes or Migration. I think he's gonna go for Migration, or at least that
Yeah,
would be my pick. Uh, get get Jonasti as far away from his comfort zone as possible, and I think you do that by going for water maps. And between Crater Lake and Migration, Migration is by far the more water intensive of the two.
indeed. But
Uh,
I must feel bad for Ulugh to lose the first game because you have like the two water maps as your home maps.
mhm.
If you win that first game, you must feel confident just by knowing, yeah, it got to be really hard for Genetic to play those water maps, even with the 160%,
Mhm.
because it's
Indeed.
just a different game. You
Indeed.
can't spam nights on the water maps, or it's really hard.
It won't have much point. Indeed.
Indeed.
Uh, I see that Antocalyptica is confused by something, but I'm sure he will clear up what he is confused by. In the meantime, I will be loading the replay. So also, let's then talk. Let's assume it's migration. I'm I'm picking Italians.
Yeah,
Crater Lake has
definitely.
just as much water as migration. Fair enough,
Indeed.
but you do need to move on migration. With Crater Lake, you at least have the wood and some gold and stone tiles on the side. So there's a possibility for a sneak if your opponent isn't paying attention. But on migration, you have to go water. There's literally no option.
I'm changing my answer. I think it's gonna be Crater Lake.
I mean,
Just
based on
like
this, obviously it's Crater Lake. What would you pick? I would say Italians for Ulugh.
on Crater Lake, I would go Saracens. I think being
Yeah,
Empire Wars, the market abuse can be really big.
Saracens
Uh,
is indeed another good option, and
you have the
I,
extra galleys,
that
the
is
better Mamelukes.
that
So
is true. That is true. I think you also know my answer for what I think Joe Nasty should pick if it's Crater Lake.
uh, I would think he's gonna pick Dravidians, or but yeah, maybe Vikings, but
I
both good options.
I think we will see the Vikings making an appearance, but let's. Oh wow, have we ever been debated?
Oh,
Oh yes,
right. It's gonna
it's
be capricious somehow.
it's no, it's not. It is migration,
Migration.
migration, and it's Italians versus Dravidians.
Nice one, Ulugh.
It's very very good debate indeed. And as you see, I have a bit of a visibility mod, so I can actually see the fish in the in the water.
Fancy.
Um,
Dravidians versus Italians.
yes.
The
Uh,
Dravidians opening, it's gotta be really smooth with the extra fish, with the houses, with the docks providing house space.
Indeed. Oh, that there was a okay. Well, indeed, there's the first dock coming up already for Joe Nasty.
I think we also
Meanwhile,
see a dock for
the first Italian dock is already up.
indeed.
But we will once again see this 160% building bonus. So actually, a single villager builds, I think, about as quick as 2 villagers for
Yeah,
100%. It's
gotta be. What do
it's
you
a thing
think
of beauty.
Jonesi is gonna open? Do you think he's going for the fire ships or for the galleys? But
Um, I would go for fire ships and then add some galleys. So like do a couple fire ships and then start massing galleys.
indeed,
But the first transport ship has been produced. So then the question is he going to land the middle island or is he going with his scout and maybe a villager? Oh, we see 3 villagers making their way to the boats. Are we seeing a landing on the Italian island or on the neutral island?
I would go for the neutral island. The Italian island is so risky
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know how big it is, and if you just uh, you
True.
can run into a galley, you can lose a transport ship, and I would just go play it safe, take the middle island, use your bonus, your 160% bonus to go up the castle and land a PC.
And as you say that, Joe Nasty is indeed just going up to castle. He just landed the middle island. And I think we will just see town centers all over this middle island from Joe Nasty.
Indeed. Maybe a castle as soon as possible because you only need like 300 stone. Uh,
Indeed, gathering stone or even just buying a castle.
indeed.
Especially if, like, for example, a castle here, like near the Italian island, if he scouts it, that would be huge. That would block a big part of this strait here, would deny this gold, would deny the stone.
Indeed, but maybe just like on the hill, in the middle of the island. Like you can land, but once you do, you have some unique units to run into before the DC even gets up, so you
That
don't
that's
ever
true.
get a foothold.
That's true. That's true. So it's I think both options are just depending on what type of play Joe Nasty wants to go for.
I
Uh,
think we're just gonna see the town center, but he's not producing like a lot of warships. Just one dock, two fire
Indeed,
ships made.
one
So I
dock
think he's
which is now going to be occupied, making the war galley upgrades.
Ulugh is returning home with his galleys.
Ulugh is indeed returning home. There's also no fish from either player.
Yeah,
Uh,
I,
while
I
now,
think it's really hard to mix in some fish, really at
indeed,
the start,
indeed,
because if your opponent goes for galleys and you don't have enough fire ships to
hmm
counter them, like a really bad situation. Even if you have the fish, because you're just gonna lose it.
and at the same time now Joe Nasty has the normal fighter ships instead of the fighter galleys. If he
Well,
keeps this and careening, I think I would go for numbers instead of for careening, but a second dock will be built. He's got his town center on the middle island.
he can almost go up to Imperial at this point.
He can. He just needs a monastery and a university.
Indeed.
And you know, in Imp, we can see the Tirisidai, the unique warship of the Dravidians.
Indeed, or just like fast fire ships.
Fast
They're
fire
really
ships.
big versus not even Botkin arrowed war galleys
Indeed,
because you can
indeed.
just clean up.
And this will be an interesting confrontation here. Ulugh having the numbers, but Joe Nasty having the fire ships. They're just going to pass each other?
I think they're gonna see each other. Just passing by.
Yeah,
You
no,
see
he no
here.
longer has vision of the galleys. And the galleys are moving at 1.43, 1.35, so the galleys are just outrunning them. But they're falling in the trap of the... Wow, look at that. A horde of war galleys just suddenly appearing.
But he doesn't even have fletching.
He
Well,
doesn't even have fletching,
Ulugh
no.
has fletching. No,
Ulu-
Jonasi doesn't have it.
yeah, but Ulugh already has Botkin. Okay,
Indeed.
now he has
That's
war
what I
galleys.
that's what I meant, because he can just
Mhm.
guide away,
Yes,
and boats without fletching, they just don't have the range to.
indeed. If we look at the range, this is 6+2. And here we just have the normal 6. I mean, just look at the size of those circles. I actually really hate this. I don't like this feature. I don't like it at all. I'm fine with like the thin outline. I don't like the filled circle.
It is like that one web game with the blobs. Do you know it? I think Agario, I think it's called.
Agar.io.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it
It,
feels
it
like
rings a
that
bell.
when you select them both. We see the blue
Oh,
blob is killing the red blob.
blue is beating red indeed. And there go the 2 red blobs.
That is
However,
really big.
I think... Okay, with now... with this villager lagging behind a bit, I think we're seeing the reason that that Ulugh selected the water map. It's much the same reason he went forward with those 2 villagers in the beginning of the first game. It throws Joe Nasty off of his game. It's not something that he's used to playing, that we are used to playing, and it's yeah. Here we see the larger experience of Ulugh shining.
Indeed. And I'm seeing him also on stone, so I think there's gonna be a landing soon with maybe a castle drop.
Indeed, indeed.
As Ulugh, you should know Joe Nasty is on the middle at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Indeed.
you
And
should have to feel it.
still no fletching.
Yeah, that's really big.
This is, I think this,
Careening is big, but no fletching. That's just a game changer.
yes, I think this would have been way different if instead of careening, you would have researched fletching and Botkin. But I think this is just a case of not being used to it and not realizing, oh yes, fletching and Botkin for my ships.
Indeed. I don't think Jonasi plays archers that often. So,
No,
yeah.
I don't. Well, he does. He did play archers quite a bit in the first edition of Fristi Roggan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think this is just
winning the water on this map is really big.
indeed.
As long as you have the middle, it's okay.
This is his saving grace. I like the second town center here, but he needs to boom. Like he's like using the handicap bonus. He's still ahead, roughly, but I think he just needs. If he goes even more villagers, he can be even more ahead, and I think that's so worth it.
Indeed.
We see war galleys being stashed now inside the docks.
Jonasi is also forgetting about just going to him. Imagine
I
just
think
clicking
so.
him, fast fire ships, and you can almost clean this
Yes,
with the speed upgrade for the boats.
indeed.
Yeah, But score's favoring. It's switching again.
The score is indeed favoring. I also don't know why the names have suddenly disappeared in a couple locations. Some capture age bugs.
Something I should criticize Ulugh for is not having ballistics at this point.
Indeed, ballistics makes such a big difference in these games.
And we see him also landed on the big island, so that's
Indeed,
good.
Indeed. There's another transport ship with a single idle villager there. But yes, so at the moment there's 6 docks for Joe Nasty, and there's 4 docks for Ulugh, and yet Ulugh is winning the water.
Yes, Botkin. Ballistics works for boats. It's pretty big for boats.
Yes, that
I
is...
should not have said that.
Okay, but and in the meantime, Botkin Arrow is in for Joe Nasty, so this is now a bit of a better trade. And with these resources, he can just spam boats for days. But I think he should just... He has the mass of war galleys. He should just go up to Imp.
Yeah,
Go up to
imagine
Imp. Go for Galleon,
Imp.
fast fire ship.
Or just Imp and the new ship.
Imp and the new ship is also a very good option. Oh,
because
oh, oh.
there's 8 galleons.
He heard us. He heard us through space and time. And he is going to Imp.
I'm not sure if you should take that fight, Ulugh. He's just trading, but with the better economy of Jonassi, he's trading worse and worse.
Yeah, and it's equal upgrades on both sides. Yeah. Okay.
The imp timing is gonna be huge.
Imp timing is gonna be huge indeed.
Because yeah, Ulugh is not even close to it at this moment.
No, and this I like. He just keeps adding docks.
Yeah, it's very well.
Very well played indeed. Very well played. And we see a university come up, and will we see Joe Nasty goes for ballistics? Proving that the game knowledge of Joe Nasty is larger than that of Ulugh.
Imagine chemistry in like a minute or two.
Mm-hmm. And then just cannon galleons.
Galleons. I think Jonasty is winning this game pretty hard at this moment.
He is winning pretty hard indeed. It was a bit of a struggle in the beginning, especially lacking Botkin until so late, but I think now he's pulling ahead.
Yeah.
I like that he's not engaging this. Ooh, as I say that.
Yeah. No, just... Oh. Yeah, the stream delay.
Yeah, stream delay, indeed.
Yeah, just wait for Galleon and
Galleon, Bracer, and then take the fight. It's like, yeah, it's a town center. I mean, if you really want to keep it, you can just ungarrison on the other side and repair it, but I don't think it's a big issue. I mean, if he wants, he can put down a couple more town centers.
Indeed. And it's not like it's on goal or anything, it's just wood line.
Okay, and now the galleons are in and Bracer is in. I think this is the time to go forward.
This won't be pretty. Oh! Imp being clicked by Ulugh.
Yes, there is that Italian bonus of cheaper age ups.
Don't take that fight, Ulugh. Just stall. You can't win it.
Ooh, yes.
You can't win
No,
don't.
Just take the fight. Take the fight. Yes. I'm talking about Jonasty now.
Go back, Ulugh. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Go. But the... Micro. No. No, don't do it like this. No. Okay, however, he might be losing his galleons, but we get our Teristadai.
Yeah.
And
I'm
look
not
at
sure what you do versus that as Ulugh. Just go the fast fire ships. You have to, I think.
look at that. Look at those chunky boats.
Look at those big red balls.
Phew. I don't know where you see the balls, but okay. um, ooh, I like this castle. I like this castle a lot. This is
Yeah,
something you need.
Gymnasty is doing it slowly but surely.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Look at the flank. Look at the flank from the bottom of Gymnasty.
Oof! Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, this might be the GG incoming.
Might be. I would not call it as Ulugh yet. I would not
Yeah,
call it yet.
this is gonna be such a big timing because he just gets imp, but he won't have like the upgrades. Yeah, this is just this GG. There's a really big fight from
Yeah,
Gymnasty.
but yeah, those boats are going down.
Those unique ships are nothing to laugh at.
No,
You can even tank a
but this
little bit
castle
of
is
the
doing a
castle.
lot. This castle is doing
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
it doesn't matter because once you wipe out the fleet, what's Ulugh gonna do? Jonasi can just do this over and over
He can do
with
this
the
over and over,
economy
and look at that. Look at that. Oh, and
chemistry.
there's also a trap being produced somewhere up here after conscription.
Yeah, he's gonna trap down the castles.
Yeah, and with
Ooh.
chemistry, we're gonna see some cannon galleons. I mean, this is yeah,
Wonderful timing by Jonasi.
this is
I mean,
wonderful.
he hit exactly at the right point.
Exactly, and just that sneak flank coming up with these extra galleons on the bottom, just trapping the boats of Ulugh, and now parking the Tirisadai and the galleons outside of the range of the castle, just taking down the docks.
Yeah, this is GG.
Ulugh can't do anything. So now he would have
Just
to start focusing here, but
I would start as Jonasi, just get the infantry upgrades, get your unique units, and even though the
I
Genoese
would.
crossbowmen are good units, they won't
Mhm.
just survive the onslaught of
I would also
Jonasti's.
just say he's got 2,000 stone. He's got almost no gold. Just sell the stone.
Yeah, or just plant a couple of castles. And
Yeah, that also works.
the longer the game goes for Jonasi at this point, the better. You
Indeed.
have the water, you can slowly start to bombard once you
Mhm.
have like the cannon galleons,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can just win
And at the
there.
moment, Ulugh has one military unit, one sole lonely military unit, and it's this one Genoese crossbowman.
It's like the movie The Last Genoese Crossbowman. You know that one?
I think we have another player in our group that's a fan of it, but I think a different version, like a bootleg.
Yeah, no, it's some Japanese knockoff.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Just not the same. Misses that Italian quality.
Indeed.
And here, look at these villagers just running to their death.
Poor guys and
And now we
girls.
see the cannon galleons just taking out a very important piece of the economy of Ulugh. And yeah, this is. I mean, let's also have a look at the score. That's a factor 2 almost.
Yeah. I think Ulugh is just trying to process it all at this point.
Yeah, I think this is, I think he's just at the moment using Google, finding a good therapist, because this was just painful.
Yeah. Sure looked like it.
This he, I mean, It was just Joe Nasty toying with his food.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot more things to say other than yeah.
No,
What
it's
what 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 would Ulugh Bech, what can he do to try to come back? I mean, he got the bigger part of the middle, but he can never win the water back.
he can never
Not
win the water back. No,
not with the cannon galleons. Just the
no.
castles should, yeah. He can't
Uh,
even take the gold on the sides.
and now
So
we start
yeah,
seeing
there's a time.
archery ranges here. So Joe Nasty is preparing an army for the middle, while I don't think he's even watching this army anymore.
Already getting the traps. Yeah.
Oh, he's already got his 2 trebs, and he's going for skirmisher. Uh, there is a treb present and trebbing down the castle in the middle, but remember 160% also means 160% HP on the castles.
Yeah, that's like a fully upgraded castle at this point.
From the Byzantines or something. It's
Indeed.
like, what are you gonna do with a single treb? Nothing.
And eventually it's gonna go down.
Eventually, if he doesn't decide to just start repairing it with his 10 villagers.
I I think Jonas is like, yeah, take my castle, I don't care, I have like 2k stone in the bank, so
Yeah, he'll
oh
probably just, as an insult, just build the castle in the exact same spot.
yeah,
Just
just
again and
let him
again.
kill the foundation and do it like 3 more times
Yeah, I was like,
before he ends the pain of Ulugh.
uh, yeah. I mean, elite skirms. He's seen that he just has these Genoese crossbowmen. They're not even elite, they're just Genoese crossbowmen.
Yeah, but it's pretty expensive to upgrade them.
True,
I think it's
but
like
oh,
900 fruits.
look at this. We have the elite skirmisher with bracer, 5+3 range. Genoese only has 4+3. So not
Yeah,
only do the skirmishers counter them, they even outrange them.
indeed, but the Jonasi doesn't have any armor upgrade, so that's one
That's
thing going into Ulick's favor.
that is true, but he does do more bonus damage. And
Yeah,
yeah, Ulugh calls the GG, and it's 2-0 in favor of our Joe Nasty player. Wow,
Jonasi's taking revenge for Fristi Roggan 1 at this moment.
he's more than just taking revenge for it. He's proving that he's completely in charge of these games here.
Indeed.
Let me just update what things look like here. And then migration there. And there we go. So yeah, so now Crater Lake. I'm saying Vikings.
Yeah, I'm saying Saracens, maybe Portuguese, but they're both pretty good. But yeah, Ulugh got a very big and long, hard way ahead of him.
Indeed, indeed.
And I think the 160% on Capricious is gonna be really big because you know that map, it
I
got a
know it.
really random element to it.
I know. I know. And that just means that since it spawns with a couple resources present a lot and a few very meager, what you have a lot of, you get even more, and what you only get a few of, you get like a normal amount with this handicap. So that's it. That's a really smart draft of Joe Nasty, including Capricious.
Indeed. So yeah, Crater Lake.
Yeah,
I'm actually feeling like the Saracens versus the Vikings.
I think that's an option, and let's not keep people waiting much longer. It's Crater Lake, and it's Saracens versus Vikings.
What's my prize?
Your prize is that you get to watch the glory that is this game.
Oh, that's everything I always wanted and more.
Indeed, I expected nothing less.
You see Crater Lake, it's basically a water map. Sides are really wallable. Look at those. Nice.
This is the strangest generation of. So normally you get a ton of these, you know, Komodo
Bulls.
dragons, like amongst the gold, so you can't take any of it without killing them with ships or villagers. And now the game just said, screw this, I'm just attaching a giant ass tail to this island and putting all the dangerous elements there and just, have it for free.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I mean, Jonasi also spawns closer to the island a little bit than Ulugh.
Uh, a little bit. I don't think it does much though.
No.
However, we once again see Ulugh taking much quicker to the water than Joe Nasty.
Deep.
Joe Nasty is still just producing villagers, making houses, while he could, like with the 700 wood he has, he can just spawn those cheap docks for the Vikings for days.
Does Jonasi know this is more like a water map? Because I have a feeling he's trying to play archers. Which can work, but it's a really easy wall off from Ulugh.
True, but that's if he does it. But yeah, indeed, he's going archers. He's going double archery range and
I think he's
already
gonna click
going
yes.
castle.
Yeah.
It's a 3-minute castle with already fletching researched and 7 archers soon to be. I mean, that's just painful. But yeah, I think if Ulugh remembers that this is easily wallable, then the archers just don't come in, and then he might have enough. Like if he at least starts making galleys, he will have enough
Yeah,
on the water to just deny any gold, and then it's just a
I'm not a
slow starvation
fan.
game.
I'm not a fan of the 4 ducks at the moment. He's not producing. Now he starts to, but that's
Yeah,
just overkill.
yeah, it, I
He
agree.
could have
I'm
had
I'm not a
like
fan.
a couple of galleys out already,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean,
Meanwhile,
without even needing the extra ducks. I
indeed,
think it's better to add extra ducks. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
this is gonna hurt so much.
Ulugh is not prepared.
No, not at all. Oh. This hero villager is just going to die, I guess. Okay. I think Joe Nasty was waiting for castle and crossbow. But I think he just thought, well, I'm spotted now anyway. And
Yeah, it just takes some
tower
time.
defense.
Is this game already?
I mean, no, I would not say so.
This is pretty big though. Ulugh is, yeah, he's got the siege defense.
Siege
Yeah, okay.
units.
I think he's fine, but still,
He's fine.
that
It's
should not
also
have happened.
should not have happened. But yeah, with the town center there, Joe Nasty just cannot advance with his crossbow. Ooh. See, this is why I like to put my archers on stand ground, so you don't get this, independent thinking.
Oh,
You're like, ooh,
one
let me
dies
go
and the other
attack.
one's going, yeah, I can take that town center any day of the week.
Spoiler. No, you can't. Anyway, in the meantime, the first dock is appearing for Joe Nasty. And yeah, 4 galleys.
The fish is pretty good as an equalizer.
The
Because,
fish is indeed pretty good. What do you feel about
look,
this?
look at the micro.
Yeah,
No, 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 no. Go repair it. Go repair it.
he's
Repair.
repairing. He's
Repair.
repairing.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm,
that's that for the aggression. And we see Knight of St. John coming in on the action. Yeah, it's been
it's
0-2
been a
for
wild
Jonas.
ride already. You should have joined a bit earlier.
It's a nasty ride, if I may say so.
Whew. Uh, and it's, since we're already in Castle Age, I mean, why would you make galleys still as the Viking player when you don't
Yeah,
have the upgrade yet and you can just immediately go for longboats? I think the longboats would have been the better choice here.
indeed.
However, he did now
Jonas also
remember
can
Botkin.
can go for Imperial already, and he's also queuing up some longbows.
That's a good choice. That's what he should be building. The longboats just. I don't know if you're familiar with the longboats, but I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with them.
Uh,
Those
yeah,
those just eat all the galleys up and
they
fire ships.
they eat the
So
galleys, the fire ship, the Tirisidai.
they eat it all and then spew it out.
They just raid, pillage, and plunder as the Vikings were wont to do in Europe.
I
Anyway,
think
4 docks against 2. I don't know.
indeed the Saracens galleys are no joke either.
They are no joke, but they are no longboats. 7 plus 2.
I think once you have like a
Oh!
big mass of them,
At the moment, yeah, Ulugh is only now just researching fletching,
fetching.
and he
Oh,
doesn't have the food for a bit for Botkin. So this is, well, if Jonasti would go for a bit more. I'm also
I'm
wondering.
finding it
Ooh,
hard to see positives in
mhm.
Ulugh position at the moment. He
Also,
lost the water even after he invested
yeah,
that amount of docks.
also the fact that Jonasti has ballistics, and as
Yeah,
we have noticed due to comments during the previous game, Ulugh is not aware that ballistics affects ships. I don't think we'll see it this game, and that does a lot.
indeed. I think Genesi is also preparing himself for Imperial, seeing as he's on stone already. So I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a castle right along the docks on the coastline to secure his docks, and then he's going
hmm
to click up to Imperial.
Well,
Yeah,
you can go for it both. Well, a couple ways. I would even take the villagers and just castle drop here. Like,
yeah, but he doesn't have to. I mean,
he doesn't
he
have
can
to.
do whatever.
That is indeed
Oh,
true.
now we're ooh,
Oof.
ooh.
Ooh, look at the fire ships.
Yeah, if you don't micro the longboats, they suck.
Yeah, and you need a bigger mast. You need like
You need
20.
this is really big from Ulugh. He
Yeah,
needed that. He really needed that.
and that is also why you need a castle on the shoreline so that you can just hide your ships
But
within
you
their
can still
range.
do it because there's like one war galley, and that's not gonna deny a castle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but this is not a good fight. This is not a good fight. No, 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 no.
This is exactly what Ulugh needed to do.
Yes. This castle should have been more forward, like more on the edge of the shoreline. Or like here, between the university and the docks.
Indeed. But I think he's just gonna use heated shot coming in.
Heated
And I think
shots,
he's
and
gonna just use the castle to go in.
that is also a very valid option. Meanwhile, he's been mossing some archers over here. So whenever he feels like it, he can just go inside his base again. I would just plonk them here, deny this gold a bit, force him to do some mangonel micro. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, and we
yeah,
see Imperial going up, so
Imperial indeed. I would say he needs more docks and needs more longboats.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
know
he's going to go
there's.
for another castle for now. Another
Hmm.
castle, maybe forward. I'm not sure.
Not sure either.
Ulugh
But
is
now we
master
get
of the seas, and Jonasi master of the land at this moment.
indeed. But I don't know if that will last too long, because now we get 3 stables.
Skill boarding, armor.
Yeah.
He's gonna make knights, I guess. But he doesn't have like the biggest food eco to support it.
No.
But oh, that's good. Oh, nice micro from Jonasi.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Oof. Oof. Sorry. Spoiler. Stream delay. Spoiler, but.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Ooh.
Uh,
That was nice. At least to minimize damage. Uh, I both like and do not like this, range overlay.
yeah, I think you should be able to turn it off somehow.
I should be, but you know, I
Lessons
I
learned
won't
for the
take away
next.
from the action right now. That will indeed be, like you said, for the next cast. I enjoy archers more than his knights.
Yeah, I can imagine. But Ulugh is preparing for him.
Mm-hmm. And he's okay. Light cav. I I don't know. These archers make for a pretty good stopgap over here. So I don't know if you can really get in with scouts. Also, this scout cav hasn't moved all game.
It's the Night's Watch, just
It's
there to protect the wall and investigate what the evil Jonastians are doing.
indeed. And elite longboat, bracer, conscription,
Chemistry,
chemistry. So we're
even
getting
Town
fully
Watch.
upgraded longboats now. He needs more. 9 is not enough. Once you get the ball to like 20, but you need more docks. You need more than 2. Like he had last game like 6, 7, 8 docks and just constantly pumping out those longboats.
Indeed, but I have a feeling he's like uncomfortable with the amount of space that is available to him. He should try to expand somehow.
Indeed, there is. Crater Lake is a bit restrictive in your starting area.
Indeed.
I mean, it's easily walled, but you're also easily just stuck. But now he's forcing some things here. Entering here, he's already got Arbalest, while Ulugh is nowhere near going to Imp.
Yeah, I think
Siege Ram being
he
researched.
has 18 scouts or light cav, should I say, on the
Mm-hmm.
field. Not sure if that's gonna do a whole lot at this point.
Especially not if the archers stay within range of the
Indeed,
longboats.
he's trying to go the long way around to counter, but
Yeah, I see. But
he might have just been better off going Imperial and tried to fight so he can so he can still have the woman.
mm-hmm.
Because gold is gonna be an issue in a couple of moments.
True.
If the games goes on a
If the
lot
game
longer.
does go on, indeed. So as these scouts are making their way around, Ooh, that's some free kills over here.
Yeah. It's really annoying. I always have to wait when you say something like that. Oh no no
I
no.
mean, I'm blaming the Age of Empire devs for releasing an
Yeah.
update. So they should really be more considerate of people organizing tournaments that nobody else knows about.
Who? Yeah. Chris Roggan is like basically the world championship of Age of Empires, isn't it?
I mean, obviously it is. It's and we see here the scouts now hitting the base of Joe Nasty, and now he doesn't have these tanky Polish villagers, but he does have 55 HP villagers. Uh,
And
okay, more dogs being
finally
added,
react.
but yeah, like the town centers just garrison.
And we see a big fight. I think won by the Vikings in the seas. No, the lake, should I say? By the
I
goal,
mean,
because I saw something on the media.
I
Ooh,
don't
siege ram.
see. Indeed,
Yeah,
these siege rams are just gonna clean. Excuse me.
just some tides.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this might be GG. To be honest, the Archer siege push is really hard to hold.
Yeah, and we're
Even
now just following the siege rams.
indeed, and it's also again perfect imp timing for Joe Nasty.
Yeah,
On to click Ulugh back click to Imperial while he's getting killed. Yeah, while he's getting pushed. Are we gonna see some Mamelukes? But, I don't
mm,
think those are safe at this point. It's looking dire.
it's looking very dire. He does have these raids in the back, but I don't think they're gonna be enough. Um, he will finish off these things, but I mean, just look at the score again. And yeah, this ram push, just I
Nice one.
yeah, I think that's indeed the GG call, and I actually forgot to do this because I now have the upgraded version. We can actually look at the statistics. We've been just not doing that because the games were so interesting the entire time, but
Indeed.
we can just look at this meaningless graph. Like, who's clicking more? Well, turns out Joe Nasty can click.
Militarily, yeah, but that's not fair. I mean, I have the feeling Ulugh didn't have that much military to click. So yeah,
That is true as well.
if you
If you
have
look,
like a couple of archers to micro, you're gonna click a lot more than
true,
to mangonels.
true. But yeah, so even though, the kill to loss ratio of the Vikings was less than 1, that doesn't matter. The the base was just completely gone.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
what each ram can do.
that is indeed what how many was it? 5 siege rams. I think there was a sixth one. So yeah, you have the elite longboats that just control the seas, and then just a, a very solid ram archer push on land,
Well,
and there's nothing you can do.
indeed.
Like you
I
can try
think
to
it's
go for raids, but
I think it's a bit surprising for Ulugh losing 0-3 to Jonasi,
yeah, I would have
given
expected
their
him to at least like take one game home, but no,
indeed,
this is yeah,
yeah, well played from Jonasi,
very well. I think from both. Uh,
indeed.
I think we should not underestimate the the handicap, but I also don't think we should overestimate it. I think it's both players that were dealing quite well with what happened.
Indeed. Interesting opening games for Fristi Roggan.
Indeed, and there we have it. So yeah, Antocalyptica or Ulugh. By the way, can I just ask that you update your name on all platforms next time instead of just having this one name on one name on the other? Um, but yeah,
To make it interesting. For
well,
finalists, losing in the
too
first
hard.
round.
I somehow expected that answer. But yeah, so uh, yeah, Joe Nasty advancing after a clean sweep of Ulugh.
Finalists.
That's very nice.
And
Um,
he moves on to the semifinals already.
Moving on to the semifinals, and since it's a double elimination tournament, Ulugh drops down to the losers bracket, where he will face either you or Knight of St. John,
Yeah.
depending on
I'm,
how your games go.
yeah, I'm hoping he's gonna face Knight of St. John because I don't want to go to the loser brackets. But I also don't want to face Joe Nasty, seeing as he played this well. So it's gonna be interesting. Either
Indeed.
way.
Uh, I I do believe that both of these will actually be quite nice to follow along with both players. I think it's
Indeed.
gonna be very nice indeed. And I've just double checked because I was sent 5 games uh, by Joe Nasty in order to not spoil anything. The other 2 games are just some team random map ranked games that he still had lying around, I guess.
Well played, Joe Nasty. Well played.
I was expecting some scenarios or some joke games or whatever, but nope, just accurately
Hammer
filling
away.
in. Okay. Wow. So that was the first cast. It was only an hour and a half. I was expecting this to go on a bit longer, but you know, Joe Nasty just having no mercy.
Yeah.
Uh,
He truly did honor to his name.
Indeed. Although I was somewhat disappointed that in this series there was no Amuder, as we
Uh,
saw previously. It's like the trash talk has really taken a hit.
yeah, but he didn't have to because he was just smacking the floor with Ulugh the whole time. So
Indeed, his gameplay spoke for him.
indeed.
But in any case, that was it for today. Uh, the next series that I will cast will be you versus Knight of St. John, I expect. And
Yes.
then we will find some guest casters because I do not want to cast my own games to showcase how Tim and I are duking it out. And that will be even more enjoyable because Tim gets a whopping 180%.
Yeah. Good luck on that one.
I I think my expectation is that I will join Ulugh in the losers bracket pretty soon. Uh,
Don't underestimate your abilities, but yeah,
but
it's gonna be a fun,
180%.
fun one.
Yes. It will, in any case, be enormously fun to play in a tournament.
Indeed.
And on that
That's what
note,
it's all about.
I think this is a good point to end the stream.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for being in the chat. And I hope you enjoyed this very first series. I will update the website very soon so you can just enjoy what was done there. And see you in a couple weeks.
See you.
Bye.